Good morning, students. Today we are here with the new chapter, that is coordinate geometry. So before we go into the concepts of 10th standard, let's revise the concepts that we have learned in class 9th. So let's first, in class 9th we have seen that the plane is divided using two perpendicular lines, using two perpendicular lines, namely this one is called x-axis and this one is called y-axis, and any point in the plane is represented by a coordinate system, first x coordinate and then y coordinate. So this is what we have learned in class 9, and along with this let us revise some crucial points. That is, this point is called origin and it is represented by 0 0, means x-axis as well as y-axis 0 start from here, 0 1 2 3 4, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 4. So this way we have marked number line on x-axis, and same number line perpendicularly vertically we have taken and positive in such a way that positives towards the upside and the negatives in the downside. So this is how we have marked various values on axis x and y, and these we are calling as coordinate axes. And any point, if you take any point on this coordinate system, we will see which point it is matching with, in which point it is coinciding with in x-axis and which point it is coinciding with on y-axis. So here in this case it is 3 on x-axis and on y-axis also it is 3. Now let's take another point. We'll say let us this point. Now again, which point is it parallel with on x-axis? 4. And what is the point that is that it is coinciding with on y-axis? It is 2. So we can write this as 4 comma 2. So when we have two coordinates, the first coordinate is called x-axis, x coordinate, second one y coordinate, and there were names also. This is called ordinate and this was called abscissa. Now yes, did you find the mistake? The mistake is that this y is called as ordinate and the x1 is called as abscissa. Very good. Now we will go further. Now if you see some point, let us suppose 2 comma 3, because it is on 2 on x-axis and 3 on y-axis. So 2 comma 3. So what does this x coordinate necessarily represent? It represents the distance from y-axis, because this distance is 2. So 2 means 2 units from y-axis. X coordinate represents distance from y-axis. Similarly, y coordinate, that is 3, represents distance from x-axis. This is 3 units. So y coordinate represents distance from x-axis. Okay, so this is another point here. Now here we have both positive values, whereas if you come here, let us take some point here. So which is it coinciding with on x-axis? -2, and y-axis +2. So any values in the second coordinate will be of the form negative and positive, because in all the second coordinate the x is of negative and y is positive. Similarly in third axis, negative, because this is also negative, this is also negative. And fourth axis, coordinates, quadrants, we call this quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Now fourth quadrant, for example, let us say take some point here. It is 5 comma 2. Now both are +5 comma -2. So quadrant 4 it will be plus and minus. To sum up, quadrant 1 values will be positive. Quadrant 2 values will be negative, positive. Quadrant 3 values will be negative, and quadrant 4 values will be positive, negative. So these are the, so looking at the points, we can say which quadrant means fourth part. Plane is divided into four parts now, so each part we call as quadrant. So looking at the point, we can say which quadrant it is in. Now what if the point we are always pointing out somewhere in the quadrants? What if if the point is on x-axis? On x-axis we have so many points. On y-axis also we have so many points. So how do we represent these points? Now for example, this point, what is the, this is 1 2 3 4 5. So what is the value of x? 1. Y 0. And this point is 2 comma 0. If you take some point, either this one, then this becomes minus 5 comma 0. So point on x-axis point will be of the form x and y will be 0. So throughout x-axis, the ordinate, that is the second coordinate, y coordinate will be 0. Similarly, if you take any point on y-axis, this point x will be 0. So on y-axis, if you are writing any point, so you write it as 0 comma minus 3. So point on y-axis is of the form 0 comma y. So these are the crucial points, that important key concepts that we have learned in the last class, 9th standard. So once we have revised them. Once you know these things properly, you'll see the video 2 times and remember all the points, so that it will be useful for us in 10th standard. Now let's move on to the class 10 concepts.